Episode 133, Dogfight. This is our Week 10 review, Week 11 preview. NFL is just flying by. Coach, how are we doing on this lovely Tuesday evening?
Doing great. The weather here in Missouri can't make up its mind. It started off at 32 this morning, ended up at about 70 this afternoon. So definitely fall weather here in Missouri, but good day. Obviously, Chiefs didn't play this week, so I had a moment to breathe. Got to see a lot of cute Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift videos, though.
Oh, I bet you did.
And then it's more so that Kelsey's moved on for me. But you guys had a solid week.
Yeah, 2-0 under Antonio Pierce. Sunday Night Football. I've told you I don't like the prime time. You seem to be more okay with it because I get everyone to text me and give their input on how the game's going. So it was
riveting game. You guys won.
So I watched the after the first half. I was like, this is just going to be a field goal-a-thon, and I was not feeling it so much. But gotta work it out for the boys. So ended up 16-12 win, blistering score. I talked to one of my buddies that's a Jets fan. He said, I think it's going to be a blowout either way. And I was like, are you sure? I don't really know. But we were once again in the target Devontae Adams playbook.
Did I say the only blowout that I'd want that have anything to do with the Jets is Lisa Wilson?
Okay, there we go. I was like, tread carefully. Okay, there we go. So Devontae had 13 targets, only 6 receptions, 86 yards, that one-handed. Beautiful. So he seems to be okay. He's dancing in the locker room after with the fellas. Before he was not all that pumped about a win if he didn't get all that involved, but he's very involved, and they got the win. AOC, Aiden O'Connell, 16 for 27, 153 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, which was not great, 1 fumble. He was sacked 3 times and hit 7. So a little bit of duress there. The offensive line clearly needs to clean some things up. Josh Jacobs eclipsed, we'll say, 100 yards, finally 116. He had 27 carries, 4.3 average. We didn't actually score a touchdown until the 4th, and it came from your boy Michael Mayer. You were pushing for him early in our draft coverage, which we're almost getting into, Coach. It's almost draft time. At least for me, not so much for you. But anyway, so it was a beautiful catch on Michael Mayer's part. Coach and I have been waiting for him to get involved in the offense. He's still not really the workhorse tight end that he should be. I think if they use him right, he's going to be.
Dalton Kincaid has finally gotten it together for the Bills. It took him a couple weeks.
But it took Dawson Knox getting injured. The Raiders just aren't really using their tight ends much, like Austin Hooper. How often do you hear that name?
Well, Josh McDaniels wasn't using Devontae Adams, so why would you expect him to use Michael Mayer?
Right. I mean, but now it's the Antonio Pierce era, so it's time for a change, and we got a new offensive coordinator, kind of. And then kind of a bright spot on the defense. So they held Breece Hall. I didn't even realize this at first. Breece Hall had 13 carries, 28 yards, which translate to a 2.2 yard rushing average. That's pretty significant. Now, Dalvin Cook, on the other hand, only had 4 carries and had 26 yards, which is a 5.6 yard average. So Dalvin obviously carrying the ball maybe a little bit better, but 4 carries, that's clearly not a lot of faith in the guy. But holding Breece Hall to 28 yards on 13 carries is pretty impressive. Garrett Wilson had a pretty good night, 9 receptions for 93 yards, but Zach Wilson finished the night with 23 for 39, a fumble, 263 passing yards, 1 pick, no touchdowns. He was only sacked 2 times. I thought that the Raiders defense was really going to have a field day with this offensive line. Like the Chargers just pummeled them. The Raiders were not close to that. Crosby was held to 2 QB hits. That's it. So not quite a exciting night for the defensive line. In total, they only had 2 sacks and 5 QB hits on Zach Wilson. But I'm happy with it. It was another win. I know you and I talked this week. Maybe the celebrations were a little much. You weren't feeling the cigars. Obviously, I'm kind of giving them a pass on the cigar thing because it's my team. But I did acknowledge if it was any other team, I'd say this is a little bit of overkill. Maybe pump the brakes a bit. But I don't know. I get it. The ding dong, the witch is dead. Unfortunately, we may have to come back to life against the Dolphins in Week 11. So we'll see how the locker room is after that one. But I'm excited for the boys. 2-0. We have 5 wins. We had 6 total last year. I'm trying not to get excited about any kind of postseason adventure here. Aiden O'Connell is I like watching him more than Jimmy Garoppolo. We're less restricted with Jimmy's limitations. Aiden O'Connell opens up the playbook a little bit more. I don't know if he's the man for the future. I don't know if Antonio Pierce is the guy for the future. I need to see him, he already did push the guys through some hard times. So let's see now as we have the hardest remaining 8 games of the season. So, we're kind of going to see how that rides, so to speak. Coach, your thoughts, takeaways?
I mean, you guys have beaten 2 straight teams that you should have beat, right? So that's good, because there's been games that you've lost that you should have won, like Bears, for instance.
We have to bring that up, really?
Yep. I have to. It's part of the show.
Oh, got it. My bad.
But yeah, I mean, you got to be happy with the win. Like I said, a win's a win. But again, like we've talked about, is this team good enough to really make it to the playoffs and do anything? No.
Probably not.
No. So you
unless I see something crazy in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, unless you see something crazy. But you also have to think long-term future. The Raiders do need some more talent on all ends of the spectrum. So you have to think draft position goes a long way. But I think Antonio Pierce so far has shown that he's a good coach. We'll see what it's like when you guys play some real competition. But you got to be happy with a couple wins, man. Especially when you're winning games that you should win, and before you were losing games that you should win. So that's a positive. You can obviously see a change in the team's just dynamic and happiness,
right,
that Josh McDaniels obviously didn't bring as a coach. So you got to be happy about that, and you got to move forward. And speaking of moving forward, can I do this now? Can I do this?
Just the one point I want to make is you and I talked about, you kind of asked how I was feeling about Aiden O'Connell, what I took away from the win. And just my point here is that the Jets defense is pretty decent, above average. So it was
Very
just
much
a good test for the rookie.
Yeah.
Because I would say most defenses in the league are
I mean, they stifled, Patrick Mahomes. He had a touchdown and 2 interceptions. So the Jets have a very good defense. So Aiden O'Connell to get out of there without losing the game, right?
Might have tried to with that one pick, right, in the fumble. Right. Yeah, that didn't help.
He didn't necessarily win the game, but he didn't lose the game. So and against a really good defense like the Jets and secondary, then that's something to hang your hat on and be proud of.
Right. And then my other takeaway is just Robert Spillane. The guy's playing with a broken hand. He's like the linebacker Max Crosby. Mm-hmm. Someone asked him about his broken hand, and he said the hand is far from the heart. A little bit corny, but I respect the guy.
Yeah,
I mean, he came away.
He's a football player, right? He's a little Bill Romanowski in him.
He came away with a pick, a sack, a TFL, and a pass defended. We don't have a lot of linebackers that can do that in our history. So I think an extension should be on the way for Spillane. But Coach, go ahead and let's see the magic.
Okay, so like I said the other week, I had won a mystery jersey that I bid on. It's like $100. These mystery box things that you get from the Chiefs. So I have not opened it yet. I'm going to open it live on the podcast. See who I get. Some of us said I'm going to get like a Willie Gay jersey. Who knows?
Should be fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Or I'm hoping in order. Obviously, Mahomes. You know what? I'll go Kelsey first, Mahomes, and then I would probably go a little Nick Bolton action. We'll see. Let's
Nick Bolton. Hold on, wait. Pause 1 second. We got a minor interruption. I'll be right back. Talk about the other jerseys you want.
Talk about the other jerseys. All right. So we have obviously a little bit of a distraction here. Brendan, again, we do these. This is live. This is live. Brendan's got kids. One of his sons is here waving at us. I think this little guy just had a birthday. So we have obviously a varied options of jerseys, but hopefully it's a current Chief, and we are back at it.
And we're back.
I'm there. So I got this earlier, so I've resisted for the last couple hours in opening this until we can all see it together as one. Let's see who it could be. Thank you. Look at this. We got a thank you for your Chiefs bid. Right?
Oh, look at that.
You can scan it. All right, let's see it. I'm not looking. Okay, I'm not looking. Okay. This, goddamn, I think this is a Noah Gray jersey. This is an 83. This is kind of it's not the worst, but
it's Noah Gray.
Let's see here. It's a Noah Gray. We got a Noah Gray. We got Noah Gray.
It's a safe one. Hey, he's solid. Hey, someone's got
very solid. So Noah Gray's is authentic jersey, right? Noah Gray's jersey,
and it's signed.
Signature. What's up?
And it's signed for $100. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, no doubt. So the Noah Gray jersey is, so this is cool.
Dude, when you sound a little disappointed, but when Kelsey retires to move to Argentina with Taylor Swift, Noah Gray's going to take over.
Yes. I might continue to bid jerseys just in the hopes that I get someone other than Noah Gray. But no, Noah Gray's on my fantasy team. Very cool. Kind of underrated, but still I think, could be a viable piece here in the future. He's a Dookie, which is the only Dookie. He's a Duke Blue Devil, but nonetheless, pretty cool. But like I said, yeah, man, like it's got the real stitching on it.
Legit.
Not gonna lie, I did kind of feel on the jersey, and I thought it was an 8. So I was like, holy shit. What is the reaction going to be of me live opening this and it's a Travis Kelce? But no, it's a Noah Gray, so it's cool. It's cool. Much like most things in my life, there's a little bit of disappointment, but it's all good.
You're in a safe space here, buddy.
Yeah, I'm in a safe space,
Yeah.
So there we go. So if people, it's fun. It's
I haven't even really seen that, and to get a guaranteed signed jersey from they're probably not going to give you like some practice squad guy. They don't even get jerseys made, so
no,
I feel like that's pretty legit. Yeah. I'm going to cheer for Noah Gray to do well, just against everyone besides the Raiders.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Well, there you go. So maybe we'll have another one of coaches' unveilings. See what happens as the podcast continues to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
So ready to bust into our Week 11 predictions.
Let's do it.
All right. So Coach bested me last week. He had 7 correct. He was trying to get me to force him to have an 8th because he was favoring the Broncos against the Bills, then changed his mind. As we all know, the Broncos won. So Coach still led me 7-5. I really had a rough week. A lot wrong there. So the overall score leading into Week 11, I'm up 96. Coach has 85. 11-point swing. You're on the rise, my friend, and Week 11 can only help you even more. This goes to Week 18, so I'll let you start. I'm a gentleman. Bengals at Ravens, real easy one. Thursday Night Football.
Real easy one. Do the Bengals lose again, or the Ravens redeem themselves? Both coming off losses. I'm going to go with Joe Burr and the Bengals, and they'll get the win.
And we have a change right at the top. I'm going Ravens. Bounce back from giving away that win. My wife's cousin was at the game. It was his birthday. As he texted me, he got a little more upset, which I understand there. Shout out to Isaiah. That's rough, dude. Happy birthday, though. Next, 1:00 game, Cowboys versus Panthers. I guess I got the hard one. I'm going to go Cowboys.
Yeah.
Coach? Yeah, I figured as well. You have another easy one. AFC. Wow. All the AFC Norths are lined up against each other. Steelers at Browns.
I'm going to go Browns.
I'm going to go Browns as well. Still, people are saying that the Deshaun Watson trade is now a win, and there's no possible way to say that he fleeced them. I'm not sold on that yet, but I am sold on their defense. Yes. Next, Coach, your boys, Bears at Lions.
Lions, baby.
Yeah, I don't think you'll ever bet against them. I'm going Lions as well. Next, I've got the Chargers at Packers. When I thought about this, when I watch Herbert, I feel like him and, besides the effectiveness, Jordan Love and Justin Herbert are kind of similar with their play styles, like even their throwing mechanisms. I feel like have a lot of similarities. But I'm going to go Chargers over Packers. Packers offense is not getting it together. Their defense is very susceptible against the run. Austin Eckler could have a day against those guys. I'm going Chargers over the Go Pack Go.
Chargers, yeah.
Chargers as well. Coach, you have Cardinals at Texans.
Texans.
I'm going Texans as well. Titans at Jags. I'm taking the Jags for a bounce back. They did not look great last week. The Titans, though, are kind of like in the middle of everything. I'm going to go Jags for a bounce back win against the Titans.
Jags. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go Jags too. I think the Titans are in a soft rebuild right now, and they,
That's a good way of putting it. I like that soft rebuild. And then, Coach, you have Giants at Commanders.
Commanders, the Giants, Tommy DeVito and his chicken cutlets and his mom doing his laundry is not going to cut it. The Redskins or the Commanders, excuse me, will win.
Yeah, how dare you? All right, I will take the final game of the 1 o'clock, which is Raiders at Dolphins. While the Dolphins have not really repeated, I mean, you can't expect 70-point repeats every week like they did against the Broncos. They still have a high-powered offense. The potential is still there. Their ceiling is basically limitless, I feel like, with that arsenal of offensive weapons. I just don't think the Raiders can really hold back that kind of storm. I think, unfortunately, it's going to be the first loss of Antonio Pierce's career. We did just sign Jack Jones, who was released by the Patriots. Finally, a Patriot I can get on board with, even though he's got kind of a shaky background, but as a player, he's fantastic. And him and Antonio Pierce have known each other, I believe, since high school. So I'm going to ride with the Dolphins. Unfortunately, I'm optimistic. I'm going to say it's closer than we expect, but it's still going to be like a 27-21. I don't think it's going to be a blowout like people are predicting, but I think we're still unfortunately going to take the L here, which I hate to say.
Yeah, I agree. Dolphins.
Yeah. Hate to say it, have to do it. Coach, you have the 4:05 game, Bucks at 49ers.
49ers are rocking and rolling again.
I'm with you as well. Jets at Bills. I keep picking the Bills, and they have the same record as the Raiders right now. And that's pretty startling to think about. They're in the same division. The Bills could theoretically miss the playoffs if they continue to go on this route. But I'm going to take them over the Jets. I think a bounce-back game for their defense would be to punish Zach Wilson. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think so too. The Bills have been extremely disappointing. There's so many, I think Ken Dorsey kind of got the raw end of the stick. Someone had to be a scapegoat. But you can't. There's just a lot of things wrong in Buffalo. It's not a Buffalo Bills podcast, so we don't need to worry about that. But they will get the win against the Jets.
Yeah. I mean, come playoff time, we might dive in. If they make it, we'll dive in. That's where we give
I don't think they're making the playoffs, but okay.
Yeah. You never know. Next, Coach, you have Seahawks at Rams.
I will take the Seahawks, but a part of me wants to go with the Rams because I think Matthew Stafford will be back. But
I thought about it, but
I'll go Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Geno Smith really hasn't. He's not the same. I think he's regressed a little bit since last year, but I'll take
turning the ball over a lot. Not a lot of multiple touchdown pass games. He did a little better last week, but I think I'm going to fantasy wise. I'm going to start Kyler Murray over him this week. I'm just not really feeling it. 8:20 is. I'm also going Seahawks. 8:20 is Vikings at Broncos. I'm going to go with the Broncos. They beat the Bills. They beat the Chiefs. Sean Payton is turning something around, and a lot of it is like on the Bills. It was not to bring it back to them, but it was like a self implosion type deal. So I'm going to let the Broncos take it over this one. They said that the Vikings are going to start Jaron Hall again. I would put Josh Jacobs back in there quick fast, but yeah, I saw that. He said he's taking back his starting position. All right, dude, we'll see. So I am going Broncos over the Vikings.
I think the Vikings will win.
All right, Coach, going Vikings. Only two difference of opinion, and I think we're going to have our third difference of opinion on this game. Love my Raiders, but last week's slate of games was so bad, especially in primetime. I've been looking at this one for a while. Monday night game. Coach, you better be ready. No work interference. This is the Super Bowl rematch. Philadelphia Eagles at Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead. Are you going?
I'm not. I do. I am actually working that night, but I will find a nice spot and I will watch the game. So we got a Super Bowl rematch, right? We got the only team in the NFL with one loss, correct? That's the Eagles, correct?
That's it.
Correct.
8-1.
8-1, best record in the NFL. That will change Monday night.
Ooh.
That will change Monday night in Arrowhead. It'll be rocking and rolling. Chiefs coming off a bye. Get everyone rested up a little bit. Everyone should be feeling better. Obviously, we don't fully know if Nick Bolton will be playing. I don't think he will. But Drew Tranquil has been absolutely phenomenal at taking his spot. The linebacking core between him, Willie Gay, and Leo Chanel have just been absolutely amazing. I can't really say enough. The last couple of draft classes, how well they've drafted. This young defense is just hungry. So it's going to be a great game. Obviously, the Eagles have plentiful amount of weapons when it comes to Swift and AJ Brown to the Chiefs. I still regret not getting. But nonetheless, everything happens and works out for a reason. I think a lot of people thought the Dolphins were going to be extremely dominant against the Chiefs. It wasn't really the case. I know that was in Frankfurt, Germany, and that was, things happen, time changes. The Dolphins weren't on their A game, but still, the Chiefs held them down. Didn't let Tyreek Hill do anything. I'm sure they're going to try and do the same with AJ Brown. But yeah, I have a really good feeling about the Chiefs winning. I think we're going to win by a touchdown. I couldn't give you an exact score, but I have the utmost faith in Patrick Mahomes and the boys to show that it wasn't a fluke last year. They can beat him again, and that they will beat him again. And that's the bottom line, because I said so.
Wow, Coach, pretty confident there. I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that the Eagles' offensive line working against your D-line is going to be extremely interesting. I don't think Swift's going to get going as much as people might expect he would based on the production we've seen, a little Gainwell sprinkled in here and there. But I think the issue is going to be your secondary. They could be able to take away A.J. Brown and contain him, but then the threat of Devontae Smith, obviously they're absent Dallas Goedert, so I'm curious who's going to step up for them in that position. But I think those two are enough to kind of cause some damage. And then the threat of the run game, the dynamic receivers, I think Jalen Hurts is going to be rushing a lot against you guys as well. Having Nick Bolton to kind of spy him would be beneficial, but obviously he's not available. I'm going to take the Eagles 31-21. Travis Kelce has a rough night after spending too much time in Argentina, and Jason Kelce is going to be going after his little bro and all of his guests that he's been interviewing. So it's going to be wild. Why are you looking at me confused? Jason Kelce, leader of the offensive line. He's going to rally the Eagles to a win. You don't think so?
Did I say you could speak to me right now? That bullshit. 10 points? 10 points?
10 points. Yeah.
How about this? If the Eagles beat the Chiefs by 10 points or more, I will buy your son an A.J. Brown jersey, because it's not going to happen.
I actually already got him one for Christmas. So it's sitting. I got on sale. So yeah. How about if the Eagles beat the Chiefs by 10, you have to take an additional 2-game loss in our standings. So it doesn't count. If you beat me, it counts as 1 win. If you lose, it counts as 2.
That's fine. But we're getting to the point now. What jersey are you going to want? You going to want an Aiden O'Connell, you Irish mother trucker?
Trucker. Yeah, I don't really know. Like you said, maybe it'll have to be draft time dependent.
Or get a throwback, get like a Bo Jackson.
Well, I love me some Cliff Branch, so maybe a little 21 is in my future. R.I.P. So we'll see, but
it's good. I mean, it's regardless. All in good fun. It's going to be a great Monday Night Football game. I was thinking, I worked this past weekend, and me and my buddy were talking, and we're like, dude, doesn't it suck to just not to work on a Sunday, when there's just football going on, even though the games really weren't all that great. It's still just something about a fall day, just sitting home on the couch, watching football, chilling. It's hard to beat that. So
it's the best, but I don't want to be picky, but I also want that quality football. And the Broncos and the Bills, just that it just kind of changes things. So even though I don't particularly like your Chiefs, I'm very much excited to see you guys duel against the, I guess we'll say, should have been Super Bowl champion. Is that the right way to put it, or no? Is that wrong? That seems wrong. Yeah.
Maybe the person that you're texting right now can text you to shut the up.
Actually, I'm welcoming our 36 new followers on our Facebook page.
Well, thank you, 36 new followers. Tell this dumb great guy that I've known for most of my life that
right.
I can't cuss. Okay.
You can't cuss.
Can't cuss.
Yeah. Just be grateful we have new members that we're sharing, and now that you can hear this live on the podcast. Also, not breaking news, but do we have a Jackson Mahomes Award of Excellence for the week? Because I have one.
Jackson Mahomes, I'm going to give this Jackson Mahomes as not a insult. I'm giving this as a like a congratulations type thing. Okay.
Okay, let's hear it.
That makes sense. So Kyler Murray leads the Cardinals to a victory in his first game back in a year. And he did this despite Call of Duty coming out. So I give him credit for leading his team to a victory, very close margin of victory, but he got it done. I could come up with some sort of Call of Duty analogy right now. He's on a kill streak or something like that. But
that's good, actually.
He got enemy UAV or something like that. So they're
dropping inbound. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. He dropped a nuke and got the win. So I think he kind of gets forgotten about. And Kyler Murray is immensely talented. Kyler Murray, at one point held all the state records in the state of Texas for a quarterback. There's a lot of guys that
built a statue of the little guy.
Yeah, so there's obviously been a lot of great football players that have come out of the state of Texas, quarterbacks in particular, and he's the best among all of them, right? So give the guy some credit. He is talented. He is, he's a little Mighty Mouse type thing going on, and so I will give him the utmost credit. Great win, and it'll be interesting to see what the Cardinals do the rest of these playoffs because, yeah. They were pretty much, Caleb Williams a foregone conclusion. We'll see what Kyler does the rest of the year.
Wonderful. So I'm going to give the Jackson Mahomes Award of Excellence to the SS Taylor Swift. This is a reference to the Giants boat picture, if you will. And Coach, what happened to the Giants after they took that picture on the boat?
They imploded.
Right. Taylor Swift is the boat, and Travis Kelce is the captain of the boat. And that's what's going to happen. Everyone is going to turn against Taylor Swift, and they're going to blame her because, one, you guys are going to lose Monday night, and then you're going to make it to the playoffs and get an early exit on some, game. Patrick Mahomes will sit there and be like, oh, my God, what happened? This is so crazy. And it's going to be because –
I can get a direct flight here, so I can come back inside the head.
It's because Travis Kelce's head is not going to be in the game. And I know this is not an original take, but it's my take. The SS Taylor Swift. That's the Jackson Mahomes Award of Excellence. Those lyric changes at the concert will be his demise.
If it didn't ruin the show right now in our recording, I would just close my screen right now and not talk to you for at least 15 minutes.
Just cover up the camera?
Yeah. Just cover up the camera.
So you disagree with me? You think this will...
Yes. Taylor Swift and her bony ass has got nothing to do with whether the Chiefs are going to be successful. And yeah, I'm not worried about it.
Not worried about it. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. All right, everyone, that's the show.
And don't forget about our sponsors, right? Let me take this over, okay? You want to make bets? You want to do fantasy? You want to have fun? You want to win? You want to lose? It doesn't matter, okay? Underdog Fantasy, RTK, put $100 in, get a free $100. Who doesn't like free money, right? Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, then we're going to take you down a road. You're going to go down whatever highway you're on. You're going to go on 70. You're going to go down 95. You're going to see a stadium to your left. You're going to say, hey, I want to go to a game. I'm going to be like, cool. You know what you can do? You can jump on SeatGeek, type in RTK, get money off your tickets, and you can thank us. So everybody wins, right?
Everyone wins.
Remember, RTK, SeatGeek, RTK, Underdog, have yourself some fun, whether it's at a game. You can actually use both at the same time. Bet while you're at the game. Using mind blown, right?
Mind blowing.
RTK, use it. The more the better. The more you use the code, the more it helps us out. Gets us to places where we give you better content, Like we got the draft coming up here in not that long.
Coach
Things
and
like
I are
that.
shipping
It
out
helps
to
us
Detroit.
out.
It's going to happen.
So RTK baby all day.
That's it. And that's the show. We'll see you all next week, and we'll check in on Coach after that Monday Night Football game.
Yes, you will.
Just win, baby.